Ooh, this be the package mama been waiting on. Thanks for the invite. I'ma fist to be up out. Come on, man, we fist to go leave you if you don't get moving. Bad grammar is something that really makes or breaks what is and isn't considered a language. Simply put, if there is both a right and wrong way to say something, then you are probably dealing with a language. For a century, give or take, many people have just outright dismissed African American vernacular, Ebonics, African American language, Black English, whatever you want to call it, as just bad grammar and slang and jive talk. However, if it were just bad grammar or broken English, then literally anything would be permissible. I for you go store. Him know their eat. If I was you, I'd break down all these boxes before that recycling truck get here. Now, while those first two are comprehensible, there is no version of English that supports those grammatical structures. And we actually have to do a little bit of mental work to understand that they intend to say, I'll go to the store for you, and he doesn't eat there. However, if this is where your level of English is, that's perfectly fine. We can understand you with this. Languages are not like math. You don't have to be 100% grammatically correct to be understood. You can be 30% grammatically correct and we can still figure out what you want to say. Now that last one is a bit of a trick. If you're speaking African American vernacular, it's 100% correct because we don't make a distinction for the English subjunctive. We just say if I was you. However, if you're intending to speak standard American English or standard English in general, then you need to say if I were you to be grammatically correct. However, if I was you is acceptable. Matter of fact, there's a song that's really popular that you hear in a lot of trailers for movies and TV shows that uses it all the time.
If I was you, I'd run. If I was you, I'd hide.
The reason it's acceptable is a lot of people just don't realize there's a rule for that or that the English subjunctive even exists. So don't worry about it if you say it. But we're not here to talk about good grammar in standard American English. We're here to talk about bad grammar in African American vernacular.
Yes. Yes. You're the man now, dog.
What happens a lot in Black English is that people who don't understand it often try to imitate it, and when they do, they make mistakes. You're the man, for an example, is a mistake. It's actually you the man. Black English is a zero copula language in the present tense, meaning that we don't use the verbs is and are in the present tense with the exception of the first person singular am. Now if you say you're the man, that's fine because it's pretty much been adopted into standard American English. However, they adopted a mistake and not the actual.
Let's check out our categories. We got, it ain't like that. Who's tryna?
Who's tryna is actually incorrect. You can probably already guess the reason. It's the exact same as the clip from Finding Forrester. Whose is a construction of who is, and we wouldn't say is. So we would just say who tryna, which is what they do later on in the sketch when they make that correction.
Okay, let me get who tryna for 200.
Okay, the answer, he trying to act like nothing happened.
Let's stick with who trying.
Okay, they trying to act like Jesus don't exist.
My final two examples are what inspired this video, and they're less playful and a bit more offensive. The first one I found when I was doing research for my TikTok video about why people have stopped using the term Ebonics so much. So let's take a look at it here. Now, a lot of people know that we use an unconjugated B in African American vernacular and they try to imitate it. However, this one gets it horribly wrong. In fact, if Ebonics were a class, this person would fail. Let's break this sentence down. I be your teacher for today. Now, first of all, we would not use the unconjugated be here. Remember, that is a habitual case. So it wouldn't apply here because this person was not our teacher yesterday, hasn't been our teacher for some time, is our teacher now, but might not be our teacher in the future. That is what the habitual tense implies. Past, present, and future habitualness. So this is a completely inaccurate usage of that verb. Secondly, let's look at pronunciation. Yo is correct. Occasionally we pronounce your like yo. So that's yo car, that's your mama house, that is correct. For we occasionally pronounce like fo. However, in a sentence, it is often pronounced like fa or f. So full today is incorrect. It actually took me several times to try to pronounce that sentence as it is written. Now finally, let's look at today. That is not how that would be said either. The T sound or TH sound, or in this particular case with today, is often pronounced with a D sound, sounding like today. A more accurate representation of AAVE would have been I'ma be your teacher for today. Now notice that I use I'ma, which is I am, because we do use am in the present tense. Be yo, but be here functions the exact same as standard English, because I'm going to be, I am going to be, I'ma be. It functions the exact same as standard American English. There's no special usage case here. Yo, I still pronounce the exact same, but it means your. I'ma be yo. Teacher, yes, we often pronounce words that have an ER or an in with an ah ending, just like the Brits do. Fo, I'm pronouncing as fa, and today I'm saying with kind of that D sound, today. I'ma be your teacher for today. This final example was brought to my attention by someone that commented on that TikTok video that let me know there was an episode of the You're Wrong About podcast, which went over the entire Ebonics fiasco, and it was a fiasco, let me tell you. I'll leave a link to it in the description because it's definitely worth a listen. Now let's take a look at this. This is a full page ad that was taken out in the New York Times newspaper. Now for you youngins out there, newspapers are these things that people used to care about even back in the 90s, where people would take these large pieces of paper and they would put yesterday's news on them. And a lot of them were funded by advertising. Matter of fact, advertising was the #1 source of funding for those things, as well as things like YouTube. So it's just kind of all transferred into this video format. Sorry for rambling. Anyway, this is a full page ad, which would have cost thousands of dollars, but the New York Times waived the fee for this particular nonprofit that wanted to speak out against Ebonics, and they put the phrase here, I has a dream. I has a dream is just as incorrect in African American vernacular as it is in standard American English. Now you might be wondering, what would it have been in correct Ebonics? Simple, I have a dream, which is exactly what Martin Luther King said. But if they wanted to make it sound more black, they could have said, I be dreamin', or I be having dreams, or they could have used an older form of African American vernacular and said, I's a dreamin', or I's a having dreams, which would have been much more offensive, but it would have at least been accurate grammatically for that version of AAVE. These authors managed to fail grammar in 2 languages. Like I said at the beginning of this video, bad grammar can make or break what is and isn't a language. We know when you say it wrong, and if there's a wrong way to say something, then you are probably dealing with a language. Did y'all think that I was gonna get through this entire video without saying what's up everybody, what's good? Nah, I can't leave it like that. First off, I just want to say thank y'all so much. 1,000 subscribers, over 1,000 now. Y'all are incredible. Thank you. I just want to go over a few things about the future direction of this channel. I do plan on continuing to insert a little Spanish stuff here and a little language learning stuff there, but for the next few videos, I really want to go back and have another look at some of these older African American vernacular episodes, because I put a lot of concepts into these videos, and I think it would better serve everyone if I explored those concepts individually in their own videos, so I can go in depth and really explain why we say things the way we say things. So that's my plan for those future videos, and I'm not taking these away. I worked really hard on these. Like, there's 5 different versions of me in this scene right here, and that took forever. I shot that on my cell phone without a green screen. You have no idea how much trouble that was to make. So yo, those videos are going to stay up, and just look to the channel for more interesting cool stuff, and look to the TikTok channel for more interesting cool stuff. You can send me a DM on Instagram as well if you got some ideas, or leave me a comment and let me know something that you might want me to cover, and I'll see if I can do it justice. Anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a blast making it, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Ciao.